the Philippines, Southeastern Asia. I continue my brief series of videos on the US presidents who truly or allegedly were Freemasons. According to an article published in 2017 by the magazine Business Insider, 14 of the 44 individuals who have been US presidents, including the current incumbent Donald Trump, he is not claimed to be a Freemason, by the way, but 14 of the 44 US presidents so far, according to this article, have been Freemasons. So this is a more cautious estimate than those done by various conspiracy theorists who claim that over half of the 44 US presidents would have been Freemasons. According to William A. de Gregorio, the biographer of most US presidents, so more specifically of the US presidents from George Washington to Bill Clinton, the surviving writings of James Monroe, while he had a church affiliation, I think he was an Episcopalian, do not reveal how wide or narrow his faith or his religious beliefs were. According to his Wikipedia biography, historian Bliss Isley notes, when it comes to Monroe's thoughts on religion, less is known than that of any other president. No letters in which he would have discussed his religious beliefs have survived until the present. Even his friends, family, and associates did not comment on his religious beliefs. His letters that do survive, such as ones written after his son's death, do not discuss religion. He was raised in a family that belonged to the Church of England, commonly known as the Anglican Church, when it was the state church in Virginia, one of the 13 original states of the United States before the American Revolution. As an adult, President Monroe attended Episcopal churches. Some historians see deistic tendencies. Deism is a religious belief according to which God does exist. God created the universe, but after creating the universe, God withdrew from the events of the universe, of nations, and even of individual lives. According to the deists, God is basically a prime mover, a passive and distant observer of what happens in the world, and therefore people should not really spend time trying to have a personal relationship with this distant God. Deistic tendencies in his few references to an impersonal God. Unlike Jefferson, Monroe was rarely attacked as an atheist or infidel. This is interesting because Jefferson, who did believe in God but was a deist, was attacked as an atheist and infidel, especially in the 1800 presidential campaign between himself and the incumbent president, or 1796, sorry, the 1796 US presidential campaign between himself and the incumbent vice president, John Adams, who was narrowly elected. According to William A. de Gregorio, the campaign was particularly vicious, at least by that time standards, where the people were told to choose God and a religious president over Jefferson and no God, according to the Federalist election slogans. But let's get back to Monroe. In 1832, James Renwick Wilson, a Reformed Presbyterian minister in Albany, New York, criticized Monroe for having lived and died like a second-rate Athenian philosopher. He lived from 1758 to 1831. So he died on July the 4th, 1831, one of the 3 US presidents to have died on the US Independence Day, Thomas Jefferson and John Adams being the first 2 presidents to die on that day, exactly 5 years earlier in 1826. But according to the Business Insider article, which is the main source of my videos in this series, Monroe was a Freemason. So, given his public reluctance to discuss religion, this is interesting, although there are many Freemasons probably who would never describe themselves as openly religious people. So the Mason or Freemason website, the Masonic Trowel, lists Monroe as entering the Williamsburg Lodge number 6 in 1776 as a 17-year-old student. So even by today's standards, he would have been considered a minor, so not yet legally an adult, much less in the late 18th century. He was studying at the College of William and Mary and heavily involved in anti-Crown, meaning anti-British activities on campus. He paid dues to the lodge from 1776 to 1780, according to a comprehensive catalogue of the correspondence and papers of James Monroe, Volume 1. During those 4 years, the future fifth US president would drop out of college to fight in the Revolution and nearly die after getting shot during the Battle of Trenton, and then return to William and Mary to study law. Let's see if there's anything else. Yeah, so nothing else. So it's possible that he was only active in Freemasonry as a young man.